Welcome back. Okay, so talking about rewriting our teacher narrative, we've looked at limiting beliefs, and here's another part of it that is really kind of subtle that you might not be aware of, and that is how all-encompassing teaching is to our identity. Many professions, are all in, but especially with, serving, helping professions, so much of our identity is tied to being a teacher. You know that. Hashtag teacher life. Every time people buy us a gift or, it's of an apple. We got teacher mugs, we got teacher t-shirts, we got teacher charms, we got teacher bags. And not all of it is a positive message, especially if we're gifting between teachers. And hashtag teacher tired, on the mug, runs on coffee. I remember, oh my gosh, we were at a gift exchange, and I've written positive mindset journal for teachers, and I wrapped it up and with a gift card and some other things and shared it, and somebody was like, oh, positive mindset journal for teachers. They kind of like poo-pooed it. And the next thing was like a coloring book. Somebody had got some swearing coloring book for teachers, like F Teacher Life, and that was a hit. So the narrative is kind of negative, and so when we attach so much of our identity, that feeds into the narrative. Okay, so there's that. It's kind of subtle. But the bigger issue is you shouldn't tie your work with your worth, right? Teaching something you do, it's a job. It's not who you are. Because the risk with that is when teaching isn't going well, you feel like you're not doing well. And a lot of times the deck is kind of stacked against us. There are a lot of things beyond our control. Okay, you need to have your own day and your own identity, not just tied to your kids' test scores or how, school is going, right? You have many roles in life, right? You are somebody's child. Maybe you're somebody's parent. Maybe you're somebody's sibling. Certainly you're somebody's friend, colleague, you have a role inside the community of some sort, you have hobbies, you have other interests. I'm a cyclist, I'm a pickleballer, I'm a quilter, I'm a daughter, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm all those things. I have a big, range of identities. And so I really hope that you take some time, that your assignment this week is to look at all the different roles you have. And certainly when we looked at balance in the last module, a disproportionate amount of your time probably goes to teaching. But I want to caution you against a disproportionate amount of your identity going into teaching or to any one area in your life. I'll be honest. I'll be a little vulnerable with you now. Some of you may know that I stepped out of the classroom a few months ago. I taught for the 20 years that I said I would, and now I'm investing the rest of my career in helping other teachers. But it didn't come with without a loss of identity. A lot of changes for me. There was a time, I was a mom. I mean, I'm still a mom. I have kids, but they're grown. They're adults, right? Then I was a teacher, and I'm still a teacher, but now I teach adults. They don't have that validation, I guess, from the littles, right? I always taught younger students. I loved that. And I'm pretty self-actualized. I don't need external validation, but it was sure nice to have all those little hugs and all those little love notes and kids telling you, you're the best, I love you. And those days, that horrible feeling when you're not giving your best self and some kid says, you're the best teacher we've ever had. And you think like, oh, who the heck else have you had, right? But still, you know where I'm going with that. The validation, it's beautiful. But if all of a sudden you find yourself no longer a mom, no longer a teacher, hey, no longer a wife. I was married for 23 years and had a very unexpected divorce. Like if my identity, if all of my identity was tied to any one of those things, life would be very different. So, teaching is what you do, it's not who you are. Yes, in your heart, are you a teacher? Yeah. The vision for my life was always to learn and to teach. Now I teach adults. Before I was a teacher, I taught adults. I was an adult literacy tutor volunteer. I was a corporate trainer. So, yes, I've always been teaching, but you know what I mean? That school teacher vibe. Hashtag teacher tired, right? So, separate your worth from your work. You are not just a teacher, you are many things. And it will help with stress and with self-esteem issues when things in the teaching world aren't going well, that you have other identities and self-worth that you hold on to, right? Even if your career were to come to a sudden end tomorrow for who knows what reason, you would still have things to contribute. You would still have immeasurable worth. You would still matter. Being a teacher is not your everything. It's one of your things, and hopefully it's one of your things that you love, but it's not everything. Okay, so that's your assignment for this week. There is a handout. I made it pretty. It takes some time to investigate, to discover, rediscover all the roles you have, all of the work you have. And in the next lesson, we will wrap it up for this module.